They've got one in your textbooks now called Australopithecus afarensis, better known as Lucy. How many have ever heard of Lucy before? Donald Johanson found Lucy, Hadar Valley, Ethiopia, 1973. He went there on a grant to look for missing links. Somebody gave him some money and said, go to Africa and find some missing links. 2 weeks before his grant money ran out, he discovered Lucy. He was highly motivated to find something, or he wouldn't renew his grant. Quite a long, interesting story about that. He's certainly not an unbiased observer in this situation. He said Lucy was a missing link. Actually, what he found was 40% of a skeleton that put together and alive would have been about 3 feet tall. Obviously a chimpanzee or monkey type animal. He put the skull together. Actually, the bones of the skull were so thoroughly crushed they could not tell anything about what the skull looked like. But in your textbooks, kids, they're going to show you a half-human, half-ape skull. Part of the propaganda machine they've got going. He said the knee joint is proof Lucy could walk upright. Actually, the knee joint that was labeled Lucy's knee in National Geographic was the one found 1.5 miles away from Lucy, 200 feet deeper in the strata. If that's Lucy's knee, I want to know how fast the train was going that hit that chimpanzee. Tom Willis has a great article about the Lucy's knee joint. Go to the website CSAMA, Creation Science Association of Mid-America.org, and get a whole lot more on Lucy's knee joint. But he said the femur was angled. Now, that's a fact, okay? An ape has a straight leg. The lower leg and upper leg are in a straight line. A human leg is not straight. It goes from your foot to your knee and then angles off to the side to your hip, because your hips are wider than your knees. And Lucy's knee was angled. And Donald said, see, that proves she's becoming a human. No, Donald, any monkey with a tree climbing capability, tree climbing monkeys have angled femurs. So an angled femur does not prove it's becoming a human. Donald Johanson said the bones of Lucy's knee are slightly bigger than a regular ape. So the bones of a Clydesdale are slightly bigger than a regular horse. That doesn't prove it's becoming a truck. All he found was a heavy-duty chimpanzee, that's all. And there are big horses and little horses today, folks. The St. Louis Zoo put human feet on their Lucy display. Not one single foot bone was found. Every other Australopithecine that has been found, and several have been found, all of them had curled toes. They call them a knuckle walker. You know, chimpanzees don't walk flat on their feet. They walk on their knuckles, because their foot's designed like your hand for grabbing a tree branch. And so they curl their toes under. They call them knuckle walkers. One of the professors in Washington University in St. Louis, where the St. Louis Zoo has this display up, he said this statue is a complete misrepresentation. I like to use simple words. They spoke a great plainness of speech, the Bible says. I think it's a lie is a better word there. The zoo director said, zoo officials have no plans to knuckle under. Ha ha, real funny. He said, we cannot be updating every exhibit based on every new piece of evidence. We look at the overall exhibit and the impression it creates. We think the overall impression this exhibit creates is correct. Well, now, Bruce, do you mean you would lie to kids that come through your zoo just to give an impression across that you've got evidence for evolution? Yes, they would, and they do. Lucy is not a missing link. In Africa, in some ash, layer of hardened volcanic ash, they found perfectly normal human footprints. Perfectly normal human. But the ash had already been dated at 3.75 million years old.